All right, let's just jump right in. The way students find information, the way they search, it's in the middle of the biggest shakeup in a generation. The search engine, as we all know it, is being completely rewritten by AI. So today, we're going to break down exactly what that means for education and, more importantly, how you can get ready for what's coming next. Here it is. This is the single most important number you need to have in your head. By 2026, and that's not far away, it's predicted that a staggering 75% of all education-related questions will be answered without a single click to a university website. Think about that. 3 out of every 4 potential students will get their answer directly from an AI. And that, right there, leads us to the billion-dollar question we have to tackle together. If the old model, driving traffic through clicks, is about to just disappear, how do you make sure your school even shows up as an option? Now, this shift is a massive challenge, for sure, but it's also a huge opportunity if you understand the new rules of the game.
To really get this, you have to accept a simple fact. The era of the 10 blue links is over. It's done. We are moving from a world where search engines give you options to a world where generative engines give you the answer. And listen, this isn't some sci-fi future. It's being driven by your future students adopting AI right now.
And this isn't a trend that's coming, it's already here. I mean, look at these adoption rates. They're just incredible. 92% of students in the UK, 64% of teens in the US, they aren't just playing around with this stuff. They are actively changing their behavior to get information in a new, much faster way. They don't want to browse through a bunch of sites, they just want the answer. The landscape has already changed.
So what does this all boil down to? For decades, we've built our websites for human eyeballs. That's not the main goal anymore. Your digital front door, your website, now has to be, first and foremost, perfectly readable to a machine. Because if an AI can't understand you, it can't recommend you. It's really that simple.
Okay, so this whole idea of legibility to AI might sound a bit abstract, right? So let's make it super concrete, because this is where the strategy gets very real, very fast. We're talking about the difference between being the top recommendation or, well, not existing at all. Okay. Look at this. On the left, you've got the trap so many institutions fall into. Essential info like tuition or GPA requirements just locked away inside a PDF. To an AI, that's a brick wall. The result? You see it right there. No, it can't read it. But now, look at the right. The exact same info, but in structured HTML. The AI can instantly read it, pull it out, and even cite it as a source. So just imagine this for a second. An AI agent is looking for schools with a specific GPA requirement. It scans your site, it hits that PDF brick wall, and what does it do? It just moves on. It then finds your competitor, who has all their data laid out perfectly, and boom, it recommends them instead. And just like that, you're invisible. So if the old way of doing things is clearly broken, what's the solution? Well, this is where we make a huge pivot, away from search engine optimization, SEO, to something totally new, Generative Engine Optimization, or GEO. And this is the fundamental shift, laid out right here. With old school SEO, the goal was simple. Rank number 1, get the clicks. And you use tactics like keywords and backlinks. But with GEO, the goal is completely different. It's to be cited in the AI's answer as the most trustworthy authoritative source. The tactics? They're now things like schema markup and building citation authority. This slide just nails the entire strategic pivot, doesn't it? We're not just matching keywords anymore. We're optimizing for deep, crystal clear context, so an AI doesn't have to guess what your page is about. The whole goal has shifted. It's not about traffic anymore. It's about becoming the trusted, cited source of truth. So how do you actually do this? I mean, this isn't about a few small tweaks here and there. It requires a whole new playbook, and it's built on 3 core pillars that have to work together to make you perfectly legible to AI. First up is the technical foundation. You have to literally speak machine. This means using structured data, things like schema.org, to label every important piece of information on your site. That way, an AI doesn't have to guess that the number of 15,000 is your tuition fee. It knows it is. No guesswork, just facts. Second, and hey, this is a big one, you have to totally rethink how you write your content. See, AI models use a process called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG. All you need to know is this. They pull information in tiny little chunks, about 200 to 500 tokens. That means you have to use the answer first principle. The key fact, the cost, the deadline, whatever it is, has to be right up front in the first 40 to 60 words, no bearing the lead. And third, you have to build undeniable authority. This means creating what's called a citation moat. You do this by systematically getting your faculty's research out there, seeding your own unique data into news stories, and building this whole network of trusted citations that all signal to the AI that you are the source of truth on a topic.
Okay, so let's say you do all this. You implement this whole three-pillar strategy. What happens then? Well, the way you measure success completely changes, and it's pretty fascinating to see.
This is where it gets really interesting. You'll probably see what's called the crocodile mouth effect. Now look at the red line, your overall website traffic. That old vanity metric we all used to chase. It might actually go down. But the green line, the one that really matters, that's the value. We're talking lead quality and revenue, and it goes up, way up. You get fewer random browsers and more highly qualified, high-intent applicants.
And this isn't just theory. The real-world results are just staggering. We are seeing cases where the revenue generated per lead has shot up by over 1,000%. That is the shift from vanity metrics to real value, right there in one number. And where is all this heading? It's taking us to what people are starting to call the agentic economy. We're not just talking about students using AI to search for information anymore. We're moving towards a future where their personal AI assistants will actually complete and submit university applications for them. So the most critical thing to take away from all this is simple. In the very near future, being perfectly machine-readable isn't going to be a marketing advantage. It will be the fundamental requirement to even get an application from a whole lot of students. The institutions that are opaque will just be left behind.
So where do you even begin? It can feel like a lot, right? Well, here is your immediate action plan, a 5-step roadmap to get you started today. First, audit your data. Make sure it's accurate. Second, start building those citations to create authority. Third, implement schema markup across your entire site. Fourth, rewrite your most important pages with that answer-first principle. And finally, govern your AI strategy to keep an eye out for errors and hallucinations.
And that's the question that's going to define success in student recruitment for the next decade. The game has totally changed. It's no longer about being found, it's about being known. And now, you have the playbook to make sure you're not just seen, but clearly and correctly understood.